Alright, gamers, here we are, new artifact video. Not as intense as my last one, is what it is. But hey, another Genshin video, completely different topic. We got new artifacts, so let's get one thing straight. I shouldn't even have any of that open. Here we go. Um, so we got two new artifacts, right? One is a Geo set for Geo users, and one is a healing set for healing people. Now, unlike my previous video where I went ahead and made out a list on who can use this set and showed you on screen, I'm going to give you the answer straight to you. Nobody. Both these sets suck. Let's discuss why. So, starting off, right, um, I'm going to use Honey to give you this example as it is a decent site for showing people stuff like this. Here are the characters that we have that are Geo. How many of them scale off attack? If you answered all but like two, you'd be right. However, you don't build attack on these characters, right? So, firstly, okay, this Geo set, two pieces, 8% attack, and actually let's open up the other artifact sets. First, it's 18% attack, and then the four piece is elemental skill. After using elemental skill, you gain 20% Geo damage, and if you're under a crystallized shield, not any shield, crystallized shield, you will get 150% of that 20%. So it goes up to 50% damage bonus, right? Pretty dang strong. 50% damage bonus for artifact set. However, again, let's look at characters that again want geo damage and that would want attack percent, right? Because that's a two piece. So there's Ning Wong, right? There's Zhang Li, there's Noel. Albedo scales full defense except for his ultimate, and if you get C2, it also scales defense, so we're going to ignore Albedo for this. Goro is defense support. There's Ito. There is Yunjin, who scales off defense for buffs, and Navia, who I'm not actually going to open up because I don't know if I could show that yet. But those are our five Geo characters that, or sorry, four Geo characters that want this, that could possibly use the set. Now let's go into why they're not going to use it. So if we look all the way down here, we've got multiple sets that work with Geo, right? There's Archipetra, which is more of a support set, and again, it's only for the element that you react with. There's Bolide, which works with shields and gives you 40% for normal and charge attacks, which this right here is already better than this four piece if you run a shield for normal and charge attack users, right? Now, obviously, it's going to be on the equipping character. That's how you get the shield strength and whatnot. Um, so this will be good for if you're running like Zhang Li with an on-field normal attack slash charge attack user, right? Pretty strong set. No one really uses it. And that's because other sets are like slightly more optimal, right? Especially like Hunter, right? The Hunter set, the Marin Chase Hunter or whatever. That set obviously for charge attack users, so that one's very strong. So of course, because that one has higher peaks, you're not going to use this one, even though this is a perfectly competitive set for those characters. Depending on the team, of course, right? And here's another option: Tenacity of the Millith. This is for Zhongli specifically. And then there's the other one, Husk Opulent Dreams, which gives you 30% defense. The half of them primarily scale off defense, and then it gives you a stacking bonus of extra geo damage and defense percent, right? This is, I believe, 24 geo damage bonus and 24 defense percent, right? Which again, very strong bonuses. So this is giving you 50 flat scaling to your stats that you scale off of, and then another percent scaling for geo damage, right? And dude, again, I know I said flat just for the sake of simplicity. It's a 50% scalar for your main damage stat and then your damage percent stat, right? For this set, for those geo characters that, guess what, scale primarily defense and convert it to attack, right? And if we go on and on, there's nothing really much anything else. I mean, debatable for, Albedo, right? And then Hunter set for main DPS Noel on Farina teams, right? Um, and then of course there's the two new sets. So, well, Ningguang. Ningguang is a attack scaling Geo character who, again, if you run her with another element, could actually proc this set bonus while getting her skill up. Because guess what? Her skill has a 12-second cooldown. So you will have a decent uptime on this, especially with some constellations, because whenever Jade Screen is shattered, it will reset. So this will allow you to have better uptime, and since it happens every 6 seconds, you can almost get this every time you use your Ningguang. Very, very powerful. And in fact, you can actually force proc this from using her skill and then ultimate, right? It'll give you a reset. So this set actually is very competitive for Ningguang. It may be her new best set as long as you skill beforehand, right? Very, very strong. I believe she also has a passive in here where if you walk through the Jade Screen, yeah, if you walk through the shield, you get geo damage bonus for 10 seconds. So this set is actually very strong for Ningguang. All right. Zhongli. DPS Zhongli if you're coping, okay? It gives him pure geo damage bonus. It's obviously going to allow him to hit very hard on his ultimate if you were to actually proc crystallize, right? 50% damage bonus is huge. But you don't need this on your Zhongli. So this is kind of a no-go, all right? Noelle. So here's the thing. Noelle's whole shtick is converting defense into attack for damage percent reasons. So when you look at this 18% attack versus a character who has low attack in the first place, I mean 91 base attack is abysmally low for like characters in this game. And compare it to the other set, which mind you is 30% defense, that goes up to 54% defense once it's maxed out. In comparison to her other set, when you have Farina, right, Hunter, which can allow you to get like an extra 50 crit damage, right? It doesn't compare. And you also are forced to run Crystallized, and Noelle's one of the characters that wants Gore on the team, right? So that limits your reactions by 1. And Albedo's good for energy, right? Or Zhongli's there just for flat damage and swirling, right? And shield up time. So that's 3, and the only other option is Bennett, right? But again, this is a conditional 20% bonus, which is worse than the other set because that's 24, unless you get a crystallized, then it becomes 50. But then you still have lower base scaling because she has 50% defense, 54% defense built on top of that. All right. So while this may look nice, optimally, it's going to perform worse than Noelle's current set for, main DPS. Same thing goes with Ito. Ito is the same way. He wants to run the same team comp, right? And so guess what? Even though he has a 10-second cooldown on a skill, the rotation doesn't line up properly. And guess what? Boom, you don't get your damage bonus because you didn't get a crystallized shield. Or the shield goes away. In fact, remember, crystallized shields in this game are weak, so the shield's gonna go away. Pretty fast, and you'll lose your damage bonus. So this set only works on specific Ningguang teams and Navia. So really bad resin efficiency, and the fact that the set works the way it does makes it almost not worth farming, as you can get most of the set's bonus by running a 2-piece. You run 2-piece whatever your main source of damage is, and then a 2-piece attack. Or you can just run, 2-piece attack, right? Like double 2-piece. Like most of the set's functionality doesn't exist. Or you can run another one that gives you a higher damage percent bonus consistently. Again, main charge attack DPS character. Ningguang's like, charge, like she does everything, right? But for a character like that, you can just run one of the other sets. So this Geo set's bad. And to not waste any of more of your time, there's the healing set, which is, listen, chat, I don't need to go over who can use this. The answer is nobody, because here's the thing. There's a whole thing in here that you can stack it with other equipping characters, which is cool. But why would you run more than one healer on a team? Unless it's like a Noelle team. But why would she use this set when we just talked about how the other set gives her a higher damage percent than anything else? I mean, look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that these new artifact sets are garbage, right? And it sucks for anyone who was hoping to farm honestly, I don't even know who was wanting this, to be honest with you. Maybe Navia fans, but again, Well, what do you want me to tell you that these are good? Like both of these sets suck. So anyone who wants a Nabia, right? It's unfortunate that you are farming possibly one of the worst domains in the game to farm, besides like the Xiao one. But even then, attack is like totally fine to run as a two piece if you get good subs. Um, and so sure, this is an attack percent one, but this is healing bonus. So I don't know. That's really up to you to decide. But this is garbage because if you want to know what this says, it's essentially uh Kokomi's clam set, except this time it's overlapping damage buff. So you hit the cap, it takes that, and then it starts going again, right? And so that recorded healing amount, right, is like, okay, you now have 5 hits. We're gonna keep recording healing. Use your 5 hits of bonus damage. And if you want to know what this is, well, it's 8% of 15,000, which I believe is was it 900? I don't remember off the top of my head. Um, Forgive me, chat, for I cannot head maths. Oh, it's 12. It's 12,000. Okay, or 1,200. Right. Um. Yeah. So here's the thing. This is less than half of every other flat damage bonus. If you want to take Yunjin as an example, right? She gives like 40, not 40. She gives a percent of her defense as flat damage for the active character, right? And so when you have a character that has like, oh, I don't know, like 3k defense, again, this is overballing it, but let's just say 2.5k defense, right? I don't use her Yunjin, so you can tell me I'm wrong in the comment section all you want. But if we multiply that by, let's just say 60, like a rough number, you get more damage bonus from running Yunjin than you do gimping one of your healers to run this set. When your healer could run an offensive set for your team, right? Like if it's a Bloom team, you can run them on Bloom stuff for more offense, or you can again run them on Clam to get more damage out of the healer, or like Noblesse, or like anything else. So like, why would you ever want to use the set, especially when you get 5 hits of flat damage when every other flat damage buffing character or like buffing character like gives you more? Again, like if there was a way to consistently proc this set, like who knows, maybe the hits overlap. I don't think it does because this is a single instance can exist, so it shouldn't overlap. And it says healing for multiple equipping characters, right? So I don't know. But this set looks terrible to me. I don't know why you would use this and like equipping character reveals a party unit effect will be created for 6 seconds, which records the amount of healing. Unit effect will blah blah blah. No, again it buffs all of your damage, but 6 hits. Or sorry, 5 hits, and it goes away after 5 hits. Um Maybe if there's a way to like let's say we can get healing consistently for like a big single hit unit, right? Like maybe Eula, for example. It wouldn't be bad, but that's only if you can actually hit the required amount of 15k healing. And remember, a lot of these healers don't have that unless it's on cast, right? Kokomi on field obviously has the healing output, but a lot of these healers don't have the healing output for an Arbex set like this, right? Despite the fact that unless they're like on field, right? Um, so again, this set will be consistent. As I said, you're kind of gimping your healer and what they can do in other artifact sets. Um, so yeah, again, it's like okay, but why would you want to farm this domain? Um, so yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't have much more to say about this. I'm gonna move on and see you guys later.